Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be talking about pre-emergent. What is pre-emergent? How is it used? And what actually is the benefits and the purposes of pre-emergent? There's a lot of videos floating around right now. You know, it's springtime. Everybody's telling you, get that pre-emergent down, get the pre-emergent down. But do you really need it? Who knows? You know, it's one of those things where that's only a your lawn, your choice thing. Now, to define pre-emergent. Pre-emergent is different than post-emergent. Pre-emergent is preventing the weeds from coming up. So, you can use these different products, and what it's going to do is it's not going to kill the actual weed seed itself, but it's going to completely stop the root growth and development of that weed seed, so that way it does not break through the soil and come up into your lawn. So it's a preventer. A post-emergent is going to be after the weed has come up, you're going to then spray the weed, and that post-emergent will kill the weed. So before we get into the products of the pre-emergent, we need to understand how and when to put these products down. So you can put pre-emergent down whenever you please, really, but there's a more beneficial time to put them down. You should put them down between soil temperatures of 45 and 55 degrees, soil temperature. Now the reason being is because the microbial activity in your soil is going to start ramping up. It's going to start getting ready for the season and start germinating stuff between 45 and 55 degrees soil temperature. Now, one way you can do pre-emergent is you can put it down in the fall, let it sit there all winter long, because really if your soil temperature is below 35, 40 degrees, your microbial activity ain't going to be doing anything. So really you could apply it in the fall, and then again if you wanted to in the spring to get even better coverage and prevention. But your soil microbial activity is between 45 and 55 degrees is when you're going to have weed seeds and stuff like that trying to germinate. You still can go after 55 degrees. You just may not get as good of prevention as if you would have before that. So that is kind of the when. Now the how. Now you got different, with these different products, you have different things. So one way is a granular, a polymer coated granular, and that will be dispersed upon your lawn, and that granular, the polymer coating on it, will then disperse itself into the lawn, dissolve, break down, and act as a barrier. Or you have water-soluble products, or just a completely liquid product. So those are the different types of products that you can use to apply pre-emergent. So the big question is, do you need to apply it? You do not have to apply it. I do not apply pre-emergent to my lawn. Now, would it help? Yes, it would. But if you have been paying attention to your lawn for a few years, you pretty much have a weed-free lawn. You might have, targeted areas or little weeds come up here and there. You don't have to do it. I don't do it. It's not something that you have to do. Would it help? Yes. Yes, it would help. It would try to prevent even, a few more weeds than what you had. But you do not have to apply pre-emergent. That is something that it's your own personal opinion. If you're just starting out in lawn care, it may be a good idea to try to get control of some of those weeds, because pre-emergent is going to kill more of your annual grassy weeds. So your crabgrass, your goosegrass, your spurge, some of those types of weeds. So yes, if you're just starting out, it may be beneficial for you. but not everyone has to apply pre-emergent. So you have two main types of pre-emergence, the two main commonly known ones, prodiamine and dithiopyr. So let's talk about prodiamine. What does prodiamine do? Prodiamine is an annual, more of a grassy weed pre-emergent. So it's not going to have any broadleaf control. It also has no post-emergent control. This is all a pre-emergent control. So prodiamine is going to be in a liquid, a water-soluble, or a granular polymer-coated product. It's going to control your annual bluegrass, your spurge, crabgrass, goosegrass, Dallas grass, some of those types of things it's going to try to prevent. It is probably your more common than dithiopyr, but dithiopyr is also more of a common one other than some of the other ones that we will talk about. Now, prodiamine is the same thing. You put it down between 45, 55 degrees. It's all the same. Every one of these products is pretty much the same routine of how you're going to put it down. Now, one thing with prodiamine that you want to remember, it's a future control, not a past control. So, the weeds that are already up, it is not going to kill those. It is going to try to prevent the other weeds from coming up, not killing the weeds that are already up. So that's one thing with prodiamine that you're going to want to watch. Now, dithiopyr. That is a preventer, and it has some post-emergent characters. Now, for the post-emergent side, those weeds are going to have to be smaller weeds. They call them like a 3-leaf weed. So where it don't have more than 3 leaves coming off of it, it will try to control that. The bigger the weed is, it may not have as effective of control on it. This is going to have some broadleaf control with it also. Not only will it have your grassy stuff, but it could have some broadleaf control. So that's going to be a difference between prodiamine and dithiopyr. Still the same type of method of putting it down, soil temperature, everything, still the same, but a different type of weed that it will go after. So I don't butcher the next two words, or next 3 of these different products. I got my cheat sheet here. So there's 3 other types of products that you can use. One is called pendimethalin. One is isoxaben, which would be in the product called Gallery or Snapshot. And the other one is isoxaben. This one is a professional product. This is not going to be used in like what me or you are going to be able to get unless you are a professional. But these other 2 you can get. Now, pendimethalin, this is going to be in your Scott's crabgrass halter, some of it. This will prevent grass, some grassy types, but it's not a well-known product as prodiamine or dithiopyr. But I wanted my cheat sheet so that way I could actually read it and try to get the wording correct. So, those are other types. They all will prevent weeds. They're all pre-emergents. But prodiamine, dithiopyr, those are going to be your 2 commonly known. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope that you guys learned a little bit about pre-emergents. Now, just remember, you don't have to use them. You can if you want. Now, my neighbor that's on the other side of this wall, they do not take care of their lawn. So their weeds come into my lawn. That would be a prime example of why you may use pre-emergent, even if your lawn is like mine where it's pretty weed-free. Because last year, if you go back and watch the videos, this side, the garage side, had a lot of grassy types of weeds because the weed seeds, just kind of, when he mows once a month, or when, the wind blows and the seeds and everything come over to my lawn, then it will germinate and be in my lawn. So if you do have a neighbor like that, or you just want to prevent stuff, it is a good idea. I'm not saying don't use it, but there is a time and place to use it if you need to use it. Not everyone needs it, so it's your choice, your lawn, like I said at the beginning. So, with that, hopefully you guys learned a little bit today about pre-emergent. If you like this content, please go ahead and subscribe. It'd help me out. Like the video, comment your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one.